coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.
Peace and love out there, man. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, all 50K. I wish each and every one of you peace, blessings, prosperity in 2022. We up in here, man. It's a new year, new content, man. We're going to keep it rolling with these 33 years of prison stories. I ask all of y'all, even though we at 50K, man, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend, man. Let's just go and just pick this movement up and keep it going and get more subs, get more people in here to join in this positive energy. That's what we trying to do. Check the status. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share, like these videos, and we're going to keep it rolling in 2022, man. That's what we're going to do. We back on these travels, man. These 33 years of stops, man. I told y'all I stopped at the jail, Southampton, and after my unfortunate leave of Southampton, my quick leave of Southampton, the trick up is what they call it. But you know, you learn as you go. You gotta learn as you go. But after they tricked me off out Southampton, man, I entered the danger zone, man. I went to the wall. They sent me to the wall, 500 Spring Street. And in case y'all don't know what that is, that was the Virginia State Penitentiary. That was the biggest and the oldest penitentiary in the state of Virginia. The roughest, craziest penitentiary in Virginia at the time. Countless bodies have been produced in this penitentiary. Unlimited amount of violence. It just was a vicious place, man. It has a reputation, and anybody from Virginia know about it. If they been incarcerated, they know about it. If they haven't been incarcerated, they probably know someone who knows something about it. But yeah, that's where they send me, man. That's where they send me, straight to the wall. Still fresh in my sentence. I ain't really did no time whatsoever. I done been to the jail. I done been to Southampton receiving for a short period of time. And here I am now, young, 21, I believe, in the most notorious prison in the state of Virginia, and know nothing about prison. I can remember when they walked us in, man, just seeing it when we drove up in the bus and everything. It was like a big castle, man, like a dungeon, you know. And they drove us in and we got in and stuff, and we get off the bus and they lining us up and walking us in. I remember it was the cast that was with me. It was probably about 11 to 12 dudes, and they take us in the kitchen first, and they feed us because we've been on the bus for so long. So they take us in the kitchen and feed us. They get our clothing. It's like a duffel bag, an army duffel bag with your sheets, pillowcases, and socks and underwear, what have you, you know, and they give us a pamphlet, a book, a rule book, a pamphlet about the rules and regulations, you know, and that was it, you know, a little short speech, and they started lining us up and walking us to where we needed to go, where our housing was. The wall, man, it was dreary, man. I'm trying to, if you ever seen the movie Shawshank Redemption, that's how the wall was built. You know, like the outside rec yard was just like that in Shawshank Redemption. The big wide open yard with the big wall fence around it. Then you had the guards that was walking around the tower of the perimeter of the wall. You had on the inside, you had 4 tiers high, super high. The 4th tier was super high. You know, I don't even like heights. The 4th tier was super high. All of the cells facing the window on the side that I went. I think I went in C block the first time. Everything was facing the windows. You could look outside the windows, which most of them was broken, you know. But you could look outside the windows and see the streets of Richmond. You could see people walking up and down the streets over top of the wall if you was high enough on the 4th tier, which I unfortunately end up being put on the 4th tier. You know, scared of heights, I end up being put on the 4th tier. But I can remember, man, just walking in there, and to, you know, just to be honest, man, my heart was pumping and beating so fast because I'm so full of adrenaline, because I don't know what to expect. I don't know, you know, how this gonna be. So it's just a feeling that you can't describe, but it's just surreal. You know, you like, man, what have I got myself into? So I can remember, you know, just like I say, walking in there, and as we walking across the bottom floor with 2 officers, and they trying to tell us each and every one of us where our cell assignment was, and they giving dudes instructions. You could hear all the dudes that was behind the cell. You know, it's bars, so it's no doors, so you can hear everything they saying, especially on the bottom floor. They right there on the same level that we on. So they hollering and screaming, hey, yo, shawty, what's your name? Hey, yo, Slim. Hey, yo, woo. And it's like crazy because you don't know nobody, but everybody hollering at you. And then you heard some dudes even holler out crazy stuff like, you know, like the cat calls, like, and like, oh man, fresh meat and all this. Man, I can remember my blood start boiling and boiling. I'm like, man, I know nobody better not be talking to me, you know. So it just was crazy. It was a surreal feeling, man. Like, you know, you in it now. You know, you in it. You know, you been in the jail. You seen what that dynamic was like. You been in Southampton. You seen the receipt. But this is it. This is where it's at. These is where they breed the killers, the crazy people, you know, everybody's in here. You know, the worst of the worst. So, you know, like I say, in my mind, I was just trying to get my mind wrapped around the whole concept of where I was and, you know, what I got to do. So, man, they started giving out assignments, man. There's like 2 or 3 dudes, man. They got bottom tiers. A couple of dudes got the 2nd tier, 3rd tier, man, and a couple of us, they take us all the way up there to the 4th tier. I'm like, oh, man. So I'm trying to tell the dude, you know, it ain't no other cell open there at the bottom or whatever. He ain't trying to hurt nothing. He said, man, you going to the cell that you assigned to. So they take me to the cell all the way up there on the 4th floor. The tier is so narrow. It's not even, you know what I'm saying? It's just barely enough room to walk between the cells and the bars. And you look over and you can see how far the drop is, and there's only some bars that separating you from that, man. It's just crazy. And they take me to my cell, man. They open the door, they unlock the door, I walk in. It ain't nothing in there but a bed, you know, old bed, you know, mattress on it, toilet, a sink, and a little cabinet. That's it, you know. And the cells is like ultra small. They smaller than I believe Southampton. I mean, the wall. The wall probably had the smallest cells that I've been in. Real small cell, you know. So I'm in there, man. He clink, clink. I'll never forget the sound of that, man. He clink, clink, and locked the door. Went on about his business. Ain't nothing. I don't know when we eat. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's nothing. But at the time that I first went in there, they was on lock anyway. You know, I think they had been on lock prior to me getting there for like 2 years because somebody, you know, a couple of killings had happened, you know, and they had just locked the institution down, so they was coming out periodically or in groups instead of the whole population. So, man, I'm in that cell, man. When he closed that door and he left, man, then that just reality just set on your chest, man. It's like, good Lord, man, you know. And I'm sitting in there facing all this time and looking at my situation, and it just seemed so crazy. So, you know, it just was unbelievable to me at the time, man. But you have to lock in. You have to say to yourself, this is something I got to do. It ain't no way out of it. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? And when you got to do something, you know, that fortitude kicks in, man. That survival skills, man. So I just started unpacking my stuff, trying to, you know, wrap my brain around where I was at, what was going on. You could hear all these people just hollering and screaming, talking to each other, people hollering, you know, hollering from one cell to the other cell, people over talking each other. Then you got dudes hollering, hey, new guy. They trying to holler at you. I don't even answer nobody. I don't even want to talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nobody. I ain't trying to get to know nobody. So, you know, that was my mentality. That was my whole thing, man. But I remember that first night, you know, that first night being in there, sleeping on that cold mattress, man, and them thin sheets, and laying down and hearing all the noise and the chaos around me. And man, I just can remember feeling so, depressed, so, out of it, man. Like, man, I didn't just put myself in a wicked situation, man. And I don't even know how I'm gonna get out of it or how I'm gonna get through it. But I know I have to. And that was my feelings, man. So, I remember they bringing the food around, man. The food was crap, all that good eating at Southampton, that was dead. That was over with. That was gone. That was receiving. That was the fake out, because the administration come down to the receiving so much, so they feed good. They put on ads to act like that's how we eat all the time. But yeah, once you get in the penitentiary, that illusion is wiped out of your head. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? You ain't eating good at all. They feeding you bologna sandwiches with stale bread and oranges and apples just riding, old baby carrots, and just a whole bunch of foolishness, man, that you looking at it like it's nowhere in the world that this is how they feed all the time, but it is. That's what they gonna give you. So you had to have money, man. You had to get that money in to get commissary to try to eat anything, and that's just snacks, cookies and cakes and chips and nothing nutrition, So you have to adapt, man. You have to adapt quick and on the fly. So I was eating, you know what I'm saying, what I had to eat, because I ain't had no other choice. I just getting there. I ain't got no commissary, no nothing. But one thing I learned when I was in the Waldo, they got different rules and regulations now you're in the penitentiary. They start telling you things that you could do. You get the paperwork or you read the pamphlet and you see you can order a TV. You can get a 13-inch TV. You can order clothes off the street. You can do all this. When I first came in, you could get all of these things from home. All you had to do was be able to get on the phone, and you could actually call your people, which was crazy. You could call your people and tell them what size TV you can have, and they can go out on the store and purchase that TV and bring it straight up to the prison and drop it off in the front at property pickup, and the people will call you over there and pick up your TV. Most of the time, the same day. I never forget that, because the rest of the time in my bit, that was never a possibility. You could never do that. You couldn't bring anything up to the penitentiary and leave it and just go, and you go over there and get it. Everything else from that point on, after I left the wall, you had to order. You had to order things from a vendor. The vendor had to send it in, it had to be approved, all of this stuff. But when I was at the wall, you could actually get your people to go buy you a TV, bring it up there, drop it off, go buy you clothes from J.C. Penney's, wherever, bring it up there, drop it off. They'll check all of that stuff and they'll give it to you. So you could do all of that. So once I figured that out, I told my people, I eventually got a TV. I got a TV like the day after I told my people, which was a godsend from sitting up in that cell by yourself, with your mind, with your thoughts, with all this craziness around you, trying to process what's going on around you. That was a great relief to get that TV, man. I remember getting that TV, man. I remember the Arsenio Hall show was jumping. So, you know what I'm saying, I was watching that and a couple other shows to try to keep my mind off of what was going on, as best as possible. But I remember doing that, getting some clothes, some jeans, some T-shirts and shoes or whatnot. But I remember when they started letting us out for rent, though, man. When they started letting us out for rent, that's when you was able to be out there in the block with other dudes, and you could see the dynamics of what was going on, the dynamics of who was in there, how they was living, how dudes was carrying it. And when I first came out, I went to the phone. You know what I'm saying? I want to get on the phone. I want to talk to my peoples. I want to let them know what's going on. I want to let them know where I'm at. I want to let them know what's going on with the visitation. The visitation up there also was probably the best in my whole bit too, because I was never able to experience that again, because on visitation when I was in the wall, they had visitations on Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. And they had like visitation on Wednesday at nighttime. So it was like visits 3 days a week. Everywhere else that I was locked up, after that was just on Saturday and Sunday. It was never a Wednesday visit. The wall had visitations in there where you could also be in this side, or you could be on the other side if you had kids. It was just two separate visiting rooms that you could be on. If somebody had kids, they'd be on this side, and if somebody had all adults, you could be on this side. And you quickly found out why that was, because like I say, this was the oldest, worst prison in the state of Virginia. And boy, these dudes in there had been locked up a long time, and they already had their routines, they already had everything, so they knew what was going on. And you go up in that visiting room in the wall, and I'm telling you, man, you might don't want to bring your mother or your parents in there, because they was in there doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about dudes was in there, man. I'm talking about they was having sex in the visiting room. Cats was sneaking a woman, paying the guards to go up in the bathroom to have sex. Guards was taking payoffs. They was taking money to let dudes go in the bathroom for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Man, it was just crazy. It was chaos. You might look over and see somebody actually having sex. So, in your mind, you thinking to yourself, this is crazy, but you definitely don't want your mother or nobody like that up in there looking at this foolishness, And man, it was going down in there. Dudes and took their pants, man. Dudes had custom made pants, man, because you could wear your own clothes in the visiting room. When I was in the wall, man, dudes would put their pants and made zippers in the bottom of the seam of their pants, man, so they can unzip their pants, man, for easy access. Man, it was just crazy, man. It was like a new world that you seeing, and you just like in awe, but you saying to yourself, man, I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm in it. The visiting room in there, man, people could actually bring you food off the street. Your mom, your wife, your sister, whoever could fix you food on the street, homemade food, and bring it into the visiting room to you on in the wall. They could bring it in there and you could eat it. You could share with other people, whatever. It just was it was different back then. Yeah, way different, man. They could bring their food in there. They could go order food, Pizza Hut or Burger King or whatever. Bring the food in. The people check the food, bring it in. You could eat the food in there. When you left the visiting room, man, it was like, if I can remember correctly, it was like $15 or $20. They can get out of the vending machine for you cigarettes, food, or whatever. Just as long as the value equaled up to $20, and the COs would check that after they search you before you went back, and they would give you that. You could bring that food and them cigarettes or whatever items you may have from the vending machine. You could take that back with you to your cell. Man, it was just totally different. Those, were little perks that, later on I found out was never afforded to me. That was the only place that these things was allowed to happen, because just a couple of years later they would change all of those rules for all other prisons, that it could not happen like that. You couldn't do that. You could never take nothing from the visiting room. People could never bring you no more food up in the visiting room. All of that stuff ended, after I left the wall. But those were some new experiences for me. And like I say, at that time, I'm just learning how to do time. I'm watching, I'm seeing what's going on. And then my mom, man, she's so nice. She a Christian lady, man. She used to come up there. She used to make her homemade chicken and macaroni and cheese and biscuits and all of this stuff, and bring all this extra food up there. It was no way I could possibly eat. And then she used to be trying to share the food with other dudes in the visiting room, like, hey, you want something to eat? You want? And I'm like, no, ho, I don't know these people. I ain't trying to get to know these people. Don't be offering these people no food. And they ain't turning it down. Ain't nobody locked up turning it down. So I was trying to tell her, this ain't the place to be nice, you know what I'm saying? This ain't it, And I don't even know these dudes. So, she used to feed people, man. And I used to try to stop her from doing it, but her heart, she was kind-hearted. She wanted to do it anyway. But man, nah, I ain't want to know, because then those jokers be trying to talk to me, trying to get to know me. I don't even want to know you. I don't want to know nothing about you. None of that, you know what I'm saying? And man, I was just trying to adapt and try to take in the atmosphere and see what was going on. I was watching the way dudes was moving. I was watching the way dudes was acting. Man, and one thing about that wall, man, you see the shirt, man. You see the shirt, man. And I'm telling you, everybody up there had the Bethlehem, man. I'm telling you. I stayed there the whole time I stayed there, man. They never made one shakedown. Never one shakedown. Shakedown, like I told you, that's when they come in your cell. They check for weapons. They check for contraband. Woo. They never did it the whole time I was there. This is a part of the reason why the prison was so dangerous, because nobody shook down. The police was scared to come in there and mess with these dudes. So they didn't even come in there and shake down. When it won't count time or time for them to feed, and we won't lock behind the doors, they won't coming in there. When we out on the floor, them police is not coming up in there because it's so dangerous in there. They not coming. You see what I'm saying? So everybody walking around with the Bethlehem on them, man. This was the home of the Bethlehem, man. Trust me. You know, beware the Bethlehem. It was there. So you seeing this and you like, oh, okay, this is, you know what I'm saying? Everybody. You can see dudes walking around with the joint tucked in their pants. You can see dudes walking around with them in their hand. You know, just walking around freely like, okay, this, yeah, what's up? You know, so you seeing all of this and you trying to say to yourself, you trying to process all this, you're like, man, I'm in a war zone. You know, I'm in a war zone. So that's what you thinking in your mind, but you don't know nobody, so you don't know what to do. You don't know, you know what I'm saying, how can I get one, or do I need one? You definitely need one, but you don't even know how to go about getting one because you don't talk to nobody, you don't know nobody, and then you don't want to put up on the wrong person and you don't want to ask the wrong person because, like I say, man, this game and larceny being ran in there all day long, man, every day is somebody trying to get over on somebody, man. I can remember the first dude, man, that was trying to get over on me, man. I never forget him, man. I only want to call his name, man, because, you know, I ended up doing time with him later on, and then he ended up getting out, and I think he ended up, you know, he was a pure larceny how to do, man. His initials was RD, and he was from Richmond, man, but this dude was super larceny, man. That's what he was known as, a con man, running larceny. Any way he can to get over on you, flam, he coming with it. And I can remember, man, he pull up on me, man, talk about playing cards and this, that, and the third. He been locked up about 17 years, da. So, you know, you bored in there, you super bored. I had got into playing solitaire and gin rummy and all of that stuff when I was in the jail. So, you know, he wanted to play gin rummy, but he wanted to gamble, you know. But hey, we ain't got to gamble a lot, man. We just gambling for, you know, $1 a game, woo. So, you know, man, he used to come up to the cell while I'm locked in and his part out, or his block out, or his tier out. He come up there, man, we gambling through the bars or whatever. Man, he was beating the brakes off me, man. I'm losing like I don't know what. We playing for $1 a game. He crushing me, right? But all the time, unbeknownst to me, he's a card shot. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know nothing about that because I'm green. I'm green as a pool table 4 times square. You know, so he beat the brakes off me, but I'm looking at it like I'm killing time. I'm doing something, you know, I'm breaking this monotony, this boredom. But, man, he just trying to get money up off me, man. And he was beating me for a little while, man. And I just left it alone. He kept on wanting to play. I told him, no, I'm good. You got me, you know what I'm saying? That's that, woo. Later on, dudes was telling me, man, don't play cards with that dude, man. He is card sharp. He got marked cards. He know how to set the deck, da. All this stuff new to me. So I'm learning as I go because, like I say, I'm green. I don't know nothing. You know, that little con, that little larceny, I remember a dude came up to me, wanted to sell me a pair of sunshades, man. Nice old shades, man. Little low price. He said he ain't had no money. He's trying to get some commissary, da. I like the shades, but it wasn't so much I wanted the shades as I was like, man, okay, the dude down on his luck or whatever. I buy the glasses, you know. 2 days later, dude pull up on me, tell me somebody stole the glasses out his sale. Where you get them glasses from? Yada, all this. But all the time, they in cahoots with each other. This flam, because they know I'm new. So they trying to test me and they trying to run game on me. So he pulling up on me, telling me about how somebody stole the glass out his cell. He got the headed glass. I'm like, I ain't getting you nothing, player. Whoever stole them out your cell, you need to address him. Don't pull up on me. Man, look, I'm telling you, young blood, you just getting in the penitentiary. You better get away from me, dog. Straight up. Woo. I'm telling him, you know, I ain't going for nothing. I ain't giving you nothing. Get it from him. Or, you know what I'm saying, boom. I'm thinking like these. But, you know, in there, they thinking like, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm letting them know I ain't going for nothing. Period. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So he barking at me, I'm barking back at him, but we between the bars, so we ain't face to face anyway. And I remember when I came out my cell, then his till was locked in. So I go to his cell. I'm telling him, man, look, don't come to my cell no more, man. Don't come at me with that foolishness, man. I don't know who you think I am, boy. He's like, man, listen here, man. You little young chump, nigga. You just got in the penitentiary. You know, you don't know nothing about no penitentiary. What you gonna do? I've been in here 17 years. You ain't got no knife. I said, you don't know what I got. He said, you ain't got no knife. I make all of them and I sell all of them. So I know you ain't got nothing. Get away from my cell. You know, so I'm like, you know, in my mind, he kind of like threw me for a loop when he said that, but in my mind, you know what I'm saying, my you know, testosterone, I'm like, man, I don't care what you say. I'm telling you right now, don't come around my cell no more, period. Whatever you got, you gonna need it. Don't come around my cell no more. You know, and I just walk away from the cell. But he had my mind twirling for real. He don't know, but he had my mind twirling. I'm like, he got the knife. So I'm thinking in my mind, I got to get me a knife. I got to get that Bethlehem in my hand for me to feel safe and secure just even walking around here. Because when you walking around, you seeing all this stuff on you. But I'm bundled up like don't nobody know what I got. Don't nobody know who I am or whatever. They just know I'm new. So I'm always walking and keeping my posture as if I'm with whatever business they want to have. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got nothing. Nothing but these. That's it. These and this right here. But I promise you, I won't go on from nothing. I won't let nobody do nothing to me. I won't. They would have had to kill me. You know, straight up. That's what they was going to have to do to me. And just like I told y'all in another one of my prior videos, man, and it won't even long, man. I know it was in the first week, man, but that was the thing that just threw me a loop right there was when I was on the phone, man. I remember being on the phone. I was talking on the phone, and I think I was talking to my mom, man, and I seen this dude. He just was pacing up and down the tier, big old muscle cat with long dreadlocks, man. And he pacing up and down the tier, back and forth, and he talking to himself, you know, out loud. But you know, when I'm on the phone, it's like phones all the way down the line in the wall. It's probably like 20 phones. That would never happen again. Neither you be in a pod. Everywhere else I've been, less than 5-6 phones in a block. So this was the biggest phone, you know, selection that they had in any prison I had been in. So when I'm on the phone, you know, my back is against the wall and I'm on the phone like this and I'm watching my surroundings and what's going on around me. So I can remember seeing the dude just pacing back and forth. And then, man, one time when he got down to the end, he came back, man, and he ran into the dude that was coming down, man, and he just pulled the Bethlehem out, man, and just started chopping him, yak. And I mean, man, I'm like in shock. I'm talking to my mom. I just went dead silent. She talking like, what's going on? Hey. And I'm just looking because I ain't seen nothing like this before. This just blew my mind. I mean, when you see somebody doing that, and it appears as if he just hitting him, you know. But when you see what's in his hand, he actually got a big knife in his hand. So you know that knife is penetrating him. So it's just a horrible thing to really witness yourself to see it. And you can see this dude just hollering and screaming in pain, and he trying to fight back, and he just driving to the ground, man. He just keep hitting him. And when he just finally stopped, he stand up, man. The dude just laying out there on the floor, man, in a pool of blood. He get up, tuck the knife, and continue to pace up and down the tier. The dude laying out there in the middle of the pod, puddle of blood around him, bleeding. Certain he dead, you know. But if he not, he close to death. But he ended up dying. But he just looked just lifeless laying down there. Everybody just keep on moving. People still on the phone. People walking around the puddle of blood, and he pacing. It's just crazy. And I'm telling, man, I said, oh my God. And I tell my mom, she like, what's happening? I said, man, I think a dude just killed a dude in. And she was like, what? I said, yeah. She like, go to your cell. I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm just standing right here. I ain't going nowhere. You know, so I'm just standing there and I'm talking to her and I'm looking and I'm trying to put faces to people and see how they reacting to what they doing. But in my mind, I'm like, this is just crazy. But that incident right there just shaped my mind and just let me know where I was at, how dangerous it was, where I was at, what was going on. And man, from that moment right there, the first thing I said to myself, man, I got to get that Bethlehem, man. I got to get my hand on that Bethlehem because that is the only possible way that I'm going to feel safe. Because once you see something like that and you know it can happen. You done heard all these things in the jail. You done heard all these things, you know, in receiving. You done heard about prison, and now you actually in prison, and you see somebody get killed right in front of you with that Bethlehem, with no remorse, no mercy, no nothing. You know, no police coming to help. Nobody. You know, then and there, right then and there, it sets in your mind, the only person gonna protect you is you. The only person that's going to protect you is you. That man laid in that part and died, and ain't nobody come help him. When they holler lock up and everybody start going to their cell, everybody's going to their cell, walking around this dude in a puddle of blood, laying down on that floor. No police came in there to see what was going on. They didn't come in there to try to get the body up. None of that. They waited till the wreck was over. Everybody was gone before they actually came in there and tend to do and dealt with him and his body being laying down there on that floor. So when I seen that right there, I knew in my mind that the only way I was going to survive in this prison was to be just as ruthless and heartless as they was, or, you know, I was going to end up being a victim myself. And that was one thing I wasn't going to be. If you was going to kill me, you can rest assured I was going to be trying to kill you in the process. So I made it up in my mind right then and there, no matter what, I'm going to get that Bethlehem in my hand, and I'm going to let the chips fall where they may.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.